I'm sitting in a log cabin in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas, and I'm surrounded by about 30 people, a bunch of bikes, and I make some coffee in a pickle jar. And the first race of the season goes off in 4 hours, and I can't help but think about the journey that I've gone through in bike racing, and I'm, you know, looking out at the stars and the moon, and I'm thinking about old teammates and all these new teammates I've got this amazing opportunity to race with. A lot of guys from Oklahoma, a couple from Texas, Patrick and I representing Tennessee, and man, you, it's like butterflies with Christmas, with like a big exam coming up, all mixed together. Um, but it's all fun, You want to do well, and all of a sudden I realized the bike race season is here, and this is my pickle jar with a little coffee cup that I'm gonna take it, and I microwave the water, and we go out and we had team camp. These are our new kids, DNA, me and Alma. Yeah. So super pumped about that. I got some race file stuff here to get into, and we'll do that. Talk about the race, and unfortunately, we did not win. There's the spoiler, but had a good time. So we went out and new squad. I was lucky enough to take a KOM from Bradley Huff on Arkansas 21. So we went out, cruised. My teammate Johnny put together this route. It was pretty awesome. And we're staying up on this dude ranch here. And if you follow me on Instagram, there's my Instagram name. You saw a lot of stories with some horses, some random wild climbing goats. And this is how you email me if you want to get in touch about coaching stuff, because I can make you faster, for sure. If you have 8 hours in the week, I'll make you much faster. If you have more than that, you get even faster. Training, on training, stack, periodized training, that's a thing. The more you train, the more you can train. So anyways, pretty wicked descent. Cruise down, we hit this climb, and so it's kind of funny because it's the first time I ride with these guys. So of course it's kind of, you kind of want to prove that you're not just this big oafy dude on a bike. So people start going, and then a couple people take off, and then it was just. So I got the KOM. I could do sub 14, and then I tried to do a KOM here, and I didn't even come close. Missed it by like 2.5 minutes, but end of a nice training block. So looking in, go over to my performance manager. I'm pretty happy to finally get some training together. So it kind of took off on January 28th. When I look at my calendar here, it's about a month. Well, there's less days in February, so the 28th was a Sunday. Yeah, it's just about 3 weeks. So end of a 3 week block. Here's one thing that I always look for, what we call coming up for air. I think I stole that from my buddy Jason Hillemeyer. So when your chronic training load is creeping up and this is your acute training load, this is what drives your fitness. When you come up for air, this is coming up for air, and this is coming up for air, and this is coming up for air. When you let this drop below and you see the inverse, you get the freshness, your TSB is becoming less negative. Well, as you can see, I haven't come up for air in a while. 3 weeks is my number. I get pretty tired. But it's good because, like we're talking, stack periodized training. The more you train, the more you can train, the faster you'll get. So went out on Saturday, ripped it, and going into what for Crosswinds, first race of the year. Would love to win the first race. Would love to win the first race for DNA. It's a B race for a lot of us. The other guys had even more racing in their legs. No excuses. We lost. But it's just reality. That's the great thing about this sport. Everyone can't be 100% for every race. So, it's funny because everyone knows that. But if someone loses to someone else, oh, I'm training for something else, or oh, haven't done this or that. Well, that's the beauty of this sport. I mean, I've beaten guys before that are no doubt faster than me. They were probably getting ready for some bigger pro race, but I beat them. And I've lost to guys that if I was 100%, I could beat them, but they beat me. And that's the nice thing. You never know where someone's at in their schedule. You learn how to tweak your schedule so you can get wins against other people. Maybe you know that they're going for something else. That's part of the sport. So it's not an excuse. It's what happened. But I'm excited to be able to string together these 3 weeks, end it now, take a couple days rest, hit it a little bit at the end of this week, and then the first race for Tour Southern Highlands, it's gonna be a big weekend, is on Friday night. So for me, going backwards, I like a day off. Thursday is gonna be a day off next week. Wednesday, I'm gonna sharpen the sword with some openers. Tuesday, I'm gonna rip it. Wednesday, I might actually not be able to ride. Depends on work. So I'm gonna wait to see. I get my schedule for work the Friday before. I'll definitely be taking that Monday off. This weekend, no racing, and I'm gonna be trying to get to 2 hard rides. Um, but I'm super excited about all that. So these are the DNA things. We go to the bike race. I got number 8. I had some butterflies. 8 is lucky for me. Shout out to my cousin Jenna. She sent me a message. Hey, go get it. 8's my lucky number. I love 8. It kind of looks like a B. And uh, we're getting ready to go. I'm trying to see what other pictures I have here before I um, screw this thing up. So anyways, get into the race, and when it started off, we found out that there was actually 2 preems, so $100 for the person around first and the first person around the second lap. So I love going hard from the gun. First race, not necessarily jitters, but just wanted to go and rip it because it's fun. Who doesn't want to go fast? So take off, go hard. Let's get into this here. CX Crosswinds. So we're in Little Rock, Arkansas. High ramp rate still. Still getting tired. You can see here in the beginning, it starts off spicy. This is a little neutral section, and we can get into here right now along with the map. And I'm going to zoom this for you. So race starts right here. Rip it. Get caught. Rip it again. Get pulled back. Rip it again. 5 minutes in, we're doing 500 watt normalized. Get into the headwind. I sit in. We launch a couple attacks. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to chill because this is getting kind of hard. We're 10 minutes in, normalizing 430. And cruise down. This bottom southern section down here is going to be, it's not headwind. This is the headwind up here. So sit in and then try to get away at this point. And I actually, Hunter got off the front, and then I eventually attacked with a small group, and I got off, and then I caught him being Hunter. Sorry if I'm a little slow today. My brain, I got up at 4 for work, and I'm definitely a little tired. So this is me and Hunter riding, and so the first part is difficult for me. Just going anaerobic a lot. Basically normalizing threshold, which is fine. I rip it with Hunter, and so now I'm 48 minutes in, averaging 390, normalizing 428. Man, I just didn't have it. I mean, I don't think we wouldn't have stuck it the whole time anyways, but you can see my watts dropping up there in the top right corner. This is where we eventually get caught. And, I am a little frustrated. And the reason I told the story beforehand of like, you can't be ready for everything. You want to be though, and you can't be. And I just long threshold, and like small breakaways. It's what I love to do. It's how I love to ride. If you watched a couple of videos ago, what was the one thing that I had said I did not have yet? Begins with a D. Can't swim in the deep end yet. No depth because it's been a long winter. We've been, everyone's been trying to get in these short, hard workouts. Work sweet spot. Build, a way to get to that threshold power. But man, you're not going out and riding 65 miles with two dudes. Not now after this winter. So, little reality check. It's good though. And then the race was crazy. It's we had 5 strong guys. Um, Johnny got detached earlier, so it came down to me, Patrick, Andrew, and Hunter. And Tanner Ward, who's going to race with his Belgian pro team, was there. Oklahoma Bike Project, they had 5 guys there, and shout out to them. They ended up winning the race. And then there were what used to be the Tyson team. I forget what they're called now. A handful of other strong guys. This guy Ernie, who was a former pro. I mean, the field was 40, 50 guys maybe, but strong. Like, there was a lot of people that could win that bike race. So eventually at one point Ernie's not pulling, so Andy and I like back off to kind of pop him off, and it was bad timing. The group was moving, I got popped off, and as I'm trying to fight back, I look back and I see the peloton coming up of like 20 guys. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna hop in this and I can just free ride for a little bit and loaf around. And Patrick tried to pop him off, and a similar thing happened. We just didn't think that the group was gonna stay away. I mean, I got popped, no doubt. I think Patrick was tactically just, you'd have to ask him. I don't know. He came back with me. So we're riding this thing around, and Patrick goes to bridge at some point, and this is probably, so the race ends here. He bridges like here-ish. So I sit on, and as we're coming around this area, I look through the trees, and I'm like, no way is that the lead group. That cannot be the lead car. These guys are gone. Like, I think they were gone. While I'm talking about SIS, Science and Sport, if you don't know about that, you need to get over here, scienceandsport.com/US. And you know what? I've got to give y'all a 10% off code. So if you go on there and type in SIS code AMB105BHR, you get 10% off. You can use it as many times as you like. Sorry for all the caps, just yelling at you. So back to the race. Close that. Oh, I did get a 9-minute PR though. So on the day before team camp. Thanks, guys. You motivated me. So we're ripping it, and it is the group. So now we're coming up here, and the group is literally just dangling in front of us. And so I've been sitting on. I've got my 3 teammates up there. I'm like, when we catch them, I have to go. Like, I have to rip it. This is my turn to do it. Wasn't feeling super hot, but you know what? If I go, this then forces other teams to chase me down. If I go and everyone happens to just be exploded more than I'm exploding, then maybe I get away. But regardless, it'll give my teammates anywhere from 20-second breather to a free ride to, it can really only lead to good things. So, people say, oh, that person sacrificed himself. Even though you might be sacrificing yourself, you're also giving yourself the opportunity to win. If people didn't chase me down, maybe I could have won that way. So being a good teammate, it comes back to help you. So right here, we turn the corner, and they literally, they sprint after them, they latch on, the group sits up, and I just hit it, drop, 1,200 watts, you can watch up there, down to 6, 5, let's see how long this is. It felt like I took off pretty well. It's like right around there. But watch the top right hand number, 607, 670. I'm ripping it. I'm like, yeah, this is good. Established a movement. I'm a minute and a half out. Man, who rolls up on me? Tanner Ward. And this is something that is up for discussion that, man, I don't know this dude. And people have been like, this is the guy going to Belgium and he's this pro and da da da. I probably should have tried to work with him, I think. Um, I don't know. I don't think we would have stayed away. But that effort kind of gassed me. He came up to me and then he pulled around me and I jumped on his wheel. That's this little spurt, and he flicked me through, and I looked back and the group's kind of coming and I was like, nah, this isn't it. Maybe I should have committed more fully at first. I'm thinking through this now more. I was more worried that I didn't realize that Hunter wasn't feeling 100%, and he's a better sprinter than I am, I think. So you don't want to go to the line with someone you don't know if you got a guy that can sprint. So, and it's our first race together, so we're all trying to gel. So anyways, it comes back together here. The group's going. There's a couple of tacks. You're sticking with it. We've got a group of 20 guys come around the corner. This is the finish line down here. So rip, rip, rip. And these are just, people trying to move up and get away from everybody. Hey, Lala, I'm making a video. You making noise? Come say hi. Come say hi. This is the finish. So Patrick gets stuck on the front, and Ernie's behind him, I believe, and then Hunter, and then me. So I'm like, well, he's going to go. Ernie will maybe go past him and try and sprint. I didn't know what kind of rider this guy was. And then I'm going to gas it. Hunter will go and we'll win. So Patrick's coming up and he's still kind of far from the finish. And we get to like here. The finish is like right here. And I'm like, I just got to keep this thing fast. So I went as hard as I could. Went. And just exploded. And you can see here, it's when you're at the end of a 3-week block and you're 3,000 kilojoules in. Man, it's a 30-second 7:45 sprint is nothing. It was just dead. Sometimes you don't got it, Can't get them all. It was disappointing for sure. I sent a message to my teammates of what could I have done better, because every race you can learn something from. And there's, I said straight up, like, maybe I screwed that up. Should I have done something differently? Because when I went and tried to make it fast to keep it fast, as Patrick slowed and no one else was coming around, that guy Ernie didn't come around. I don't know if I just said that or not. If I don't keep it fast, we're just going to get swarmed and everyone's going to sprint and then you don't really lead anybody out. But when I went by Hunter, I went by too fast, or I went too hard. I should have come around him so he could have gotten on my wheel. The guy Caesar got on my wheel, but Hunter was behind him. And so I was making it so that Hunter had to go around that guy to win. That guy from Oklahoma Bike Project won. So kudos to him. It was tough to end the first race that way, but that's how this sport goes. And I think we raced well. We were in all the moves. It wasn't like we were chumps out there. We raced aggressively. More importantly, though, I love this team because they told me straight up, like, we take this seriously, but we're going to have a lot of fun. And I love that dynamic. So one thing, too, that you can look at that is nice, you can look at your fatigue resistance, and we created this chart based off of another one. Thank you to my coach in crime, Jason. After 3,000 kilojoules, so for this ride, I only had 3,100 kilojoules. It's going to be it's only going to count the end of the ride. But you can look at how do you do after 3,000 kilojoules all time. So, one time, all time, I was 3,000 or more in, and I did 30 seconds at 10:50. So this one was 733. You know, I was just that 300 watts is the difference between winning lead out or getting away and winning. How I won last year. Um, Tired matters. So be wise about that. But you know, some bright spots, things that I'm not always great at is 2 minute efforts and shorter stuff that I've been really working on. It's in the ballpark. You know, I'm at 90% of variance. So first race, just you know, move on. This nice lady at work was talking today. She's, you know, she knows I bike, and we were talking about the Olympics, and she's like, well, she's like, is there cycling in the Olympics? I was like, there is, but it's in the summer. She's like, well, I think you should try out for that. And I was like, you know, I'm nowhere near that, but I love you for thinking that. She's like, well, you're an Olympian to us. And I was like, that is awesome. Made me laugh and had a really Sako just nice message. Um, so good conversation with them. I want to show you that fatigue resistance. Check that out, and we're on to the next one. Please also check out the link below. Use the hashtag Brendan and check out the Swiftwick socks. There's some awesome compression ones, free shipping. They have running deals, and they're the best socks ever. They keep their compression for so long, and it's really one of the things that helped me come back from injury with my Achilles. And Andy, you're the man. He helped us get together. Look at these Garneau bikes. Woo! I cannot wait. Mine's getting built, and the Aero helmet is super fast, sick. Skin suit with pockets. I feel like a champion, even though we lost, because these guys are awesome. And shout out to Hunter for a job well done on getting the team second, getting on the podium. There I am, like, oh my gosh, you got this, dude! But we just lost, and there's a better picture of us losing online. But you know what? I'm not going to show him posting up. Till next time, thank you. Hit me up with questions. Get at me. That's my email. That's my Instagram. Get those gels. They are incredible. You will really see the difference in them being isotonic, and you don't need water. They absorb so well. 40% off. Get with that. Now you got 50% off. I'll talk to you guys soon. Tour Southern Highlands in 2 weeks. Let's get this.